Hi dear students, welcome. Now let us discuss the unit number 4, that is chemical kinetics of second PUC chemistry. In the main exam, there will be total 8 marks from this chapter in the question paper. The question number 4 from this chapter carries 1 mark, question number 13 from this chapter carries 2 marks, and question number 30 from this chapter carries 5 marks. Let us know the definition of chemical kinetics. It is a branch of chemistry which deals with the study of the reaction rates and their mechanisms. These kinetic studies help us to determine the speed or rate of a chemical reaction, and it also helps us to describe their conditions by which the reaction rates can be altered. The factors affecting the rate of a reaction are concentration, temperature, pressure, and catalyst. Let us know the different types of chemical reactions. Fast reaction, example is precipitation of silver chloride. Moderate speed reaction, examples are inversion of cane sugar and hydrolysis of starch. Very slow reaction, example is rusting of iron in the presence of air and moisture. Let us know the definition of rate or velocity or speed of a chemical reaction. It is defined as the change in concentration of a reactant or product in unit time. Units of rate of a reaction are concentration per time, or mole per liter per second, or atmosphere per second. It can also be expressed as the rate of decrease in the concentration of any one of the reactants, or the rate of increase in the concentration of any one of the products. Consider reaction where reactant R gives product P. The rate of disappearance of reactant is equal to decrease in the concentration of reactant divided by time taken, that is equal to minus small change in the concentration of reactant with respect to small change in time. A rate of appearance of product is equal to increase in the concentration of product divided by time taken, which is equal to plus small change in the concentration of product divided by small change in the time. Since delta R is a negative quantity, as concentration of reactants is decreasing, it should be multiplied by minus 1 to make the rate of a reaction a positive quantity. The rate of a reaction measured over a long interval of time is called an average rate of a reaction. This average rate depends upon the change in the concentration of reactants or products and the time taken for that change to occur. The rate of a reaction measured at a very small interval of time is called instantaneous rate. Instantaneous rate is the average rate at the smallest time interval, say dt, that is when delta t approaches 0. Instantaneous rate is given by R instant is equal to minus small change in concentration of reactant with respect to small change in time, which is equal to small change in the concentration of product with respect to small change in time. For a reaction AA plus BB gives CC plus DD, the rate is given by rate is equal to minus 1 divided by A into small change in concentration of A with respect to change in time, which is equal to minus 1 by B into small change in concentration of B with respect to time, which is equal to plus 1 by C small change in concentration of C with respect to change in time, which is equal to plus 1 by D small change in concentration of D with respect to change in time. For a reaction Hg, which is liquid mercury, reacts with chlorine, which is a gas, to give mercury chloride, that is HgCl2, which is a solid. Rate for this reaction is rate is equal to minus small change in concentration of mercury divided by small change in time, which is equal to minus small change in concentration of chlorine gas with respect to small change in time, which is equal to plus small change in concentration of HgCl2 divided by small change in time. For the reaction, 2 molecules of hydrogen iodide, 2Hi, gives H2, which is a gas, plus I2, which is a gas. The rate of this reaction is given by rate is equal to minus 1 by 2 small change in concentration of Hi with respect to change in time, which is equal to small change in concentration of hydrogen with respect to change in time, which is equal to small change in concentration of iodine with respect to change in time. For the reaction, 5Br minus plus BrO3 minus plus 6H plus gives 3Br2 plus 3 molecules of H2O. Rate for this reaction is given by equation rate is equal to minus 1 divided by 5 into small change in concentration of Br minus ion with respect to change in time, which is equal to minus small change in concentration of BrO3 minus with respect to change in time, which is equal to minus 1 divided by 6 into small change in concentration of H plus ion with respect to small change in time, which is equal to 1 by 3 small change in concentration of Br2 divided by delta T, which is equal to 1 by 3 into small change in concentration of water with respect to small change in time. For a gaseous reaction at constant temperature, concentration is directly proportional to the partial pressure of a species. Hence, rate can be expressed as the rate of change in partial pressure of the reactant or the product. For example, nitrogen, which is a gas, reacts with 3 molecules of hydrogen, which is also a gas, to give 2 molecules of ammonia, which is a gas. Rate for this reaction is minus change in partial pressure of nitrogen gas divided by change in time, which is equal to minus 1 by 3 change in partial pressure of hydrogen gas with respect to change in time, which is equal to plus 1 by 2 change in partial pressure of ammonia gas with respect to change in time. Let us know the factors influencing rate of a reaction. It depends on the factors. First one is concentration of reactants, pressure in case of gases, temperature, and catalyst. Let us discuss about dependence of rate on concentration. The rate of a chemical reaction depends on the concentration of one or more reactants and the products. The representation of a rate of a reaction in terms of concentration of the reactants is known as rate law or rate equation or rate expression. The rate of a chemical reaction decreases with increase in time because concentration of reactants decreases with increase in time, but rates increase when reactant concentrations increase. So the rate of a chemical reaction depends upon the concentration of the reactants. Consider a general reaction AA plus BB gives CC plus DD, where small a, b, c and d are the stoichiometric coefficients of the reactants and the products. The rate expression for this reaction is rate is directly proportional to concentration of reactant A to the power x into concentration of reactant B to the power y, or rate is equal to small k into concentration of reactant A to the power x into concentration of reactant B to the power y. Differential rate equation for this reaction is small change in concentration of reactant divided by small change in time is equal to rate constant, that is small k into a to the power x into b to the power y, where k is a proportionality constant called rate constant. The equation which relates the rate of a reaction to the concentration of the reactants is called rate law or rate expression. Thus, rate law is the expression in which reaction rate is given in terms of molar concentration of the reactants, with each term raised to some power. For example, 2 molecules of nitrogen monoxide, which is a gas, reacts with 1 molecule of oxygen, which is a gas, to give 2 molecules of nitrogen dioxide, which is also a gas. The rate for this equation is equal to small k into concentration of NO to the power 2 into concentration of oxygen. The differential form of this rate expression is given as dr by dt is equal to k into concentration of NO to the power 2 into concentration of O2. Let us know about reactions and their experimental rate expressions. First reaction is chloroform reacts with chlorine to form carbon tetrachloride and hydrogen chloride. Rate for this equation is rate is equal to k into concentration of chloroform into concentration of chlorine gas to the power 1 by 2. Second equation is ethyl acetate react with water to form acetic acid and ethanol. Rate is equal to k into concentration of ethyl acetate to the power 1 into concentration of water to the power 0. The above reactions, exponents of the concentration terms, are not the same as their stoichiometric coefficients. Thus, rate law for any reaction can't be predicted by merely looking at the balanced chemical equation, that is theoretically, but must be determined experimentally. Let us know about order of a reaction. It is the sum of the powers of the concentration of the reactants in the rate law expression. Order of a reaction can be 0, 1, 2, 3 and even a fraction. A zero order reaction means the rate of reaction is independent of the concentration of the reactants. Rate is equal to k into concentration of A to the power 1 by 2 into concentration of B to the power 3 by 2. Order for this rate law is given as the sum of the powers of concentration terms, that is 1 by 2 plus 3 by 2, which is equal to 2. Hence the order of this rate law is 2. Let us consider second example. Rate is equal to k into A to the power 3 by 2 into B to the power minus 1. Order of this rate law is given as the sum of the powers, that is 3 by 2 plus of minus 1, which is equal to 1 by 2. Let us discuss about different types of chemical reactions. First type of chemical reactions are elementary reactions. Second one is complex reactions. Third one is conjugative reactions. Fourth one is reverse reactions. And fifth one is side reactions. The reactions taking place in one step are called elementary reactions. The reactions in which a sequence of elementary reactions gives us the products are called complex reactions. The reactions which involve a series of intermediate steps are called conjugative reactions. For example, oxidation of ethane to carbon dioxide and water involves the formation of intermediates like alcohol, aldehyde, and acid. So, this is an example of conjugative reaction. The reactions which involve interconversion of reactants and products are called reverse reactions. The reactions which involve the formation of more than one product are called side reactions. For example, nitration of phenol gives orthonitrophenol and paranitrophenol. Let us know about units of rate constant. For a zero order reaction, order is 0. Unit of rate constant is mole per liter per second. For first order reaction, order is 1 and unit of rate constant is per second. For second order reaction, order is 2. Unit of rate constant is liter per mole per second. Let us know about molecularity of a reaction. The molecularity of a reaction helps in understanding its mechanism. The number of reacting species, which may be atoms, ions, or molecules, that take part in an elementary reaction, which must collide simultaneously in order to bring about a chemical reaction, is called molecularity of a reaction. The reaction which involves one reacting species is called unimolecular reaction. For example, the decomposition of ammonium nitrate involves one molecule of reactant. Hence, it is an example of unimolecular reaction which gives nitrogen and water. Bimolecular reactions involve simultaneous collision between two species. Example is dissociation of hydrogen iodide, which involves a reaction between two hydrogen iodide molecules to give H2 plus I2. Since this involves two reactant molecules, it is an example of bimolecular reaction. Tri or termolecular reactions involve simultaneous collision between three reacting species. For example, two molecules of nitrogen monoxide react with one molecule of oxygen to form two molecules of nitrogen dioxide. Polymolecular reactions are very rare and slow to proceed, justify, because the probability of collision and the reaction between more than three molecules is very small. Hence, polymolecular reactions are very rare and slow to proceed. The complex reactions involving more than three molecules must take place in more than one step. In such cases, the overall rate of the reaction is controlled by the slowest step in a reaction, which is called rate determining step, that is RDS. The decomposition of hydrogen peroxide in the presence of catalyst iodide ion in an alkaline medium takes place as follows. Two molecules of hydrogen peroxide react to form two molecules of water and one molecule of oxygen. The rate equation for this reaction is rate is equal to minus small change in concentration of H2O2 with respect to small change in time, which is equal to K into concentration of H2O2 to the power 1 into concentration of I minus to the power 1. This reaction is first order with respect to both H2O2 and I minus. But actually, this reaction takes place in two steps. In the first step, H2O2 react with I minus to form H2O and IO minus. In the second step, H2O2 reacts with IO minus to form H2O plus I minus plus O2. Both the steps are bimolecular elementary reactions, but the species IO minus is called intermediate, though it is formed in a chemical reaction but does not appear in the overall balanced equation. The first step being slow, it is the rate determining step. Thus, the rate of formation of intermediate will determine the rate of this reaction. Order of a reaction is an experimental quantity. Order can be 0 and even a fraction, but molecularity cannot be 0 or a non-integer. Order is applicable to elementary as well as complex reactions, whereas molecularity is applicable only for elementary reactions. For a complex reaction, molecularity has no meaning. For complex reaction, order is given by the slowest step, and the molecularity of the slowest step is same as the order of the overall reaction. Let us know about the differences between order and molecularity. Order of a reaction is the sum of the powers of the concentration of the reactants in the rate law expression, but the molecularity is the number of reacting species that take part in an elementary reaction which must collide simultaneously in order to bring about a chemical reaction. Order can be 0 and even a fraction, but molecularity cannot be 0 or a non-integer. Order is applicable to elementary and complex reactions, but molecularity is applicable only for elementary reactions. Let us know how to derive an expression of rate constant for zero order reaction. First, we need to remember what we mean by zero order reaction. Zero order reaction is the one in which the rate of a reaction is proportional to 0 power of the concentration of the reactants. Let us consider reaction where reactant R gives the product P. Rate is equal to minus small change in concentration of R with respect to small change in time, which is equal to K into concentration of R to the power 0. Since concentration of R to the power 0 is equal to 1, that is equal to K into 1. dr is equal to minus K dt. On integration, it gives concentration of reactant is equal to minus Kt plus I, where I is integration constant. At time t0, concentration of R becomes equal to initial concentration of the reactant is equal to minus K into T0 plus I. Hence, I becomes equal to initial concentration of the reactant. From equation 1, concentration of reactant is equal to minus Kt plus initial concentration of the reactant. Therefore, rate constant for zero order reaction, that is K, is equal to concentration of reactant at the initial stage minus concentration of reactant at any time divided by T, that is time. Examples of zero order reaction are: first one is the decomposition of gaseous ammonia on a hot platinum surface at high pressure. Second example is the thermal decomposition of hydrogen iodide on gold surface. This is a graph for zero order reaction where we plot concentration of reactant versus time. It gives a straight line with intercept is equal to initial concentration of the reactant and slope is equal to minus K. K is rate constant. Let us know how to derive rate expression of rate constant for first order reaction. First we need to remember what do you mean by first order reaction. The rate of the reaction is proportional to the first power of the concentration of the reactant. That is called first order reaction. For example, reactant R gives product P. Rate is given by equation rate is equal to minus dr by dt is equal to k into R to the power 1, which is equal to k into concentration of R. Hence dr by R is equal to minus k dt. On integration it gives ln of R is equal to minus kt plus I, where I is integration constant. Ln of R naught is equal to minus k into 0 plus I at time t is equal to 0 and at R, which is equal to initial concentration of the reactant. Ln of R naught is equal to I. From equation 1, ln of R is equal to minus kt plus ln of R naught, or kt is equal to ln of R naught divided by R. Hence rate constant for first order reaction is k is equal to 1 by t ln of R naught divided by R, or k is equal to 2.303 divided by t into log of R naught divided by R. This is rate constant for first order reaction. Examples of first order reactions are hydrogenation of ethene. Second example is all natural and artificial radioactive decay of unstable nuclei follow first order kinetics. Decomposition of N2O5 and N2O follow first order reaction, first order kinetics. This is a graph where we plot ln of R versus time for first order reaction, where we get intercept is equal to ln of R naught and slope is equal to minus k. And second graph involves plotting log of R naught by R with respect to time. It gives a straight line passing through origin with slope is equal to k divided by 2.303. Let us know about half-life of a reaction, that is T off. Half-life of a reaction is the time in which the concentration of a reactant is reduced to 1/2 of its initial concentration. For a zero order reaction, rate constant K is equal to initial concentration of the reactant minus concentration of the reactant at any time divided by T, that is time. At T is equal to T of, R becomes equal to 1 by 2 R naught. The rate constant at T of becomes K is equal to R naught minus 1 by 2 R naught divided by T of, or T of is equal to initial concentration of the reactant divided by 2 into K. That is T of for a zero order reaction is directly proportional to the initial concentration of the reactants and inversely proportional to the rate constant. But for the first order reaction, as we already know, K is equal to 2.303 divided by T into log of R naught divided by R. At T is equal to T of, R is equal to R naught divided by 2. Equation 1 becomes equal to K is equal to 2.303 divided by T of into log of R naught divided by R naught divided by 2, which is equal to T of is equal to 2.303 log 2 divided by K is equal to 2.303 divided by K into 0.301, which is equal to 0.693 divided by K. Hence, for a first order reaction, half-life period is constant. That is, it is independent of the initial concentration of the reactant species. But for a zero order reaction, T of is directly proportional to initial concentration of the reactant. Let us know about pseudo first order reactions. Pseudo first order reaction is a reaction which is not a first order reaction naturally, but made first order by increasing or decreasing the concentration of one or the other reactant. Examples are hydrolysis of ethyl acetate and inversion of cane sugar. These are the examples of pseudo first order reaction. Let us discuss about temperature dependence of the rate of a reaction. Most of the chemical reactions are accelerated by increase in temperature because increase in temperature increases the number of activated molecules which undergo chemical reaction. For a chemical reaction with rise in temperature by 10 degree, the rate constant is nearly doubled. For example, in the decomposition of nitrogen pentoxide, the time taken for half of the original amount of material to decompose is 12 minutes at 50 degrees Celsius, 5 hours at 25 degrees Celsius, and 10 days at 0 degrees Celsius. That means, as temperature decreases, the time taken for the decomposition of N2O5 to the half of its original amount will increase. The temperature dependence of the rate of a chemical reaction can be accurately explained by Arrhenius equation, that is small k is equal to capital A into e to the power minus Ea divided by RT, where A is called Arrhenius or frequency or pre-exponential factor, which is a constant and specific to a particular reaction, where R is gas constant, Ea is the activation energy measured in joules per mole. Let us know about formation of hydrogen iodide through the formation of intermediate, where one molecule of hydrogen gas, that is H2, react with one molecule of I2 to give intermediate, which on decomposition gives two molecules of hydrogen iodide. This is a diagram which shows potential energy versus reaction intermediate. Here reactants H2 and I2 react together to form an activated complex C, which on decomposition give two molecules of hydrogen iodide. According to Arrhenius, this reaction occurs only when a molecule of hydrogen and a molecule of iodine collide to form an unstable intermediate, and this intermediate exists for a very short time and then breaks up to form two molecules of hydrogen iodide. The energy required to form this intermediate, that is activated complex, is known as activation energy, denoted by Ea, which is also called energy of activation. This is a graph between ln of k versus 1 divided by t, which gives a straight line with intercept ln of a and slope is equal to minus Ea divided by r. This plot gives a straight line and gives equation ln of k is equal to minus Ea divided by RT plus ln of A. And rate constants at different temperatures can be calculated by using the formula log of K2 by K1 is equal to Ea into T2 minus T1 divided by 2.303 R into T1 into T2. Let us know about effect of a catalyst. A catalyst is a substance which increases the rate of a reaction without itself undergoing any permanent chemical change. Let us consider an example of decomposition of potassium chloride in the presence of catalyst MnO2, which gives 2 molecules of KCl and 3 molecules of O2. This MnO2 catalyst increases the rate of this reaction. But one thing you should remember that the substance added to the reaction which reduces the rate of a reaction is called inhibitor, but the catalyst increases the rate of a reaction. Let us discuss about intermediate complex formation theory. It explains action of a catalyst in a particular reaction. According to this theory, it involves two steps. First step involves formation of an intermediate complex due to the chemical reaction between catalyst and reactants. Second step involves decomposition of an intermediate complex which is very short living to yield products and the catalyst. This is a graph where we can plot potential energy versus reaction coordinate. In the presence of a catalyst, the reactants react together to form products in a very short time. But in the absence of catalyst, reactants react together to give product which takes more time compared to the reaction which takes place in the presence of a catalyst. That means catalyst reduces the energy of activation, thereby increases the rate of a reaction. The function of catalyst is it provides an alternate path by reducing the activation energy between the reactants and the products, and hence lowers the potential energy barrier between the reactants and products. As per Arrhenius equation, the lower the value of activation energy, faster will be the rate of a reaction. A small amount of the catalyst can catalyze a large amount of the reactants. A catalyst does not alter Gibbs energy, that is delta G, of a reaction. A catalyst catalyzes the spontaneous reactions but not the non-spontaneous reactions. The catalyst does not change the equilibrium constant of a reaction, but it helps in attaining the equilibrium faster. That is, catalyst catalyzes the forward as well as backward reactions to the same extent, so that the equilibrium state remains the same but is reached earlier. Let us know about collision theory of chemical reactions. Collision theory was developed by Max Strauss and William Lewis. Collision theory deals with the energetic and mechanistic aspects of chemical reactions. This theory is based on the kinetic theory of gases. According to this theory, the reactant molecules are assumed to be hard spheres, and the reaction occurs when the molecules collide with each other. The number of collisions per second per unit volume of the reaction mixture is known as collision frequency, denoted by capital Z. The factor which affects the rate of a chemical reaction is an activation energy. For a bimolecular elementary reaction, that is, reactant A and reactant B gives products, the rate of reaction can be expressed as rate is equal to Z of AB into e to the power minus EA divided by RT, where ZAB is the collision frequency of reactants A and B, and e to the power minus EA divided by RT is the fraction of the molecules with energies equal to or greater than EA. EA is energy of activation. All the collisions do not lead to the formation of products. The molecules with sufficient kinetic energy, which is called threshold energy, and the proper orientation undergo collisions which facilitate the breaking of old bonds between reacting species and the formation of new bonds to form the products. This kind of collisions are called effective collisions. To account for an effective collisions, another factor, that is capital P, which is called probability or steric factor, is introduced. For a collision to occur, molecules must be properly oriented. That is, rate is equal to P into Z of AB into e to the power minus EA divided by RT. Thus, in collision theory, activation energy and proper orientation of the molecules together determine the effective collision and hence the rate of a chemical reaction. Let us take an example of formation of methanol from bromomethane, which depends upon the orientation of the reactant molecules. The proper orientation of reactant molecules lead to bond formation of the products, whereas improper orientation does not give the products. The following equation you can see, in case of improper orientation there will be no formation of products, but in case of proper orientation of the reactant species there will be formation of intermediate which on decomposition gives the products. The drawbacks of collision theory is this theory considers atoms or molecules to be hard spheres, and also this theory ignores their structural aspect. Thank you.